Alright, hey Aston. Today we're going to talk about proving triangles congruent, day 1. Alright, don't write this down please, alright? The idea of congruent is that two figures have exactly the same size and exactly the same shape, which means that all of our sides are congruent and all of our angles are congruent. And we talked about this quite a few times. So today what we're going to talk about is how we can come up with shortcuts to prove triangles are congruent instead of knowing that all the sides and all the angles are congruent. Alright, don't write this down, we're going to skip ahead. Alright, how to prove triangles are congruent. There are 5 key methods to prove triangles are congruent. So I need you to write this down for me, please, Austin. This part right here, and then all 5. There's SSS, SAS, ASA, AAS, and HL. Okay, right now all you need to know is S stands for side, and A stands for angle. So get this slide written down for me, please. Make sure you pause whenever you need to, alright, sir? Here we go. Today we're going to talk about SSS and SAS. Now this is very, very important. Make sure you write this down. The reflexive property of congruency. It's a segment that is congruent to itself or an angle that is congruent to itself. So if we look at this, here's some examples. So get all of this page written down, all right? If we're talking about two triangles, and if they share a side like this right here, this side they share, this is a reflexive. So that means this is A, B, C, and D. That would mean that BD is congruent to BD, okay, because they're reflexive. Also, we want to talk about reflexive angles. We can look at something like this. If we had two triangles, so this would be my second triangle right here. And if they share this same angle, you see, angle B would be congruent to angle B. Alright, so make sure we have this one down. That's really important. We're going to use it a lot. Here we go. We need to write all this down. So push pause if you need to, alright? Side, side, side postulate. And we are going to refer to it as SSS all the time. If 3 sides of one triangle are congruent to 3 sides of another triangle, then the 2 triangles are congruent. So make sure we get this in our notes. Now, on this side, we want to get everything in yellow also in our notes. This is an example. If we look at these 2 triangles, we see the triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DEF because each of their sides are congruent. So AB is congruent to DE, BC is congruent to EF, and AC is congruent to DF. Since we know that all 3 sides are congruent, we can say that these triangles are congruent. Alright, second one for the day. Side angle side theorem. If 2 sides and the included, we're going to talk about what this means. This is an important word. Included angle of one triangle are congruent to 2 sides and the included angle of another triangle, then the 2 triangles are congruent. Alright, make sure we get this all written down, please, in your notes. So push pause if you need to. Alright. Now, everything in yellow needs to be written down. So here we have 2 triangles that we know are congruent because segment AB is congruent to segment DE, angle A is congruent to angle D, and angle AC, or segment AC, is congruent to segment DF. And angle A and angle D are included angles. So make sure you get all this written down. Alright, now on this side, only thing I need you to write down is included angle. It is the angle between 2 sides. Alright, make sure you write that down. Included angle is the angle that is in between 2 sides. So if we look at this first example, If we want to think about the included angle in this one, it would be angle G, because it's in between the two sides. Example number 2 would be angle I. And example number 3 is going to be angle H, because it has to be between our two sides. Alright? Okay, here we go. Now, don't write these down either. I'm going to go through, explain how these ones are going to work, all right? Whenever we say things are congruent, we need 3 pieces of information, okay? So far, the only ones we know are side, 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 and side, angle, side. Those are the 2 we're going to use today. So it's going to be one or the other. If we look at this triangle right here, example number 1, we don't know that the triangles are congruent because we only know 2 pieces of information. But from what we just wrote down today, we can say that this is congruent because of the reflexive property. So any time that you see this, you need to rewrite reflexive property. Now we can say these are congruent because of side, angle, side. Come over to example number 2. We only have 2 pieces of information. We know that this side is congruent to this side, and this side is congruent to this side. We need a 3rd piece of information. And if we think back, we remember that this is congruent to this because of vertical angles. So anytime we see vertical angles, I need you to write it down and put it into your picture, okay? Now we can say that these are congruent because of side, angle, side. Alright, last one. Exactly like the last one we just did. Example number 3. These are vertical angles. So we'll write vertical angles. And now we know it because of side, angle, side. Alright. Oops. That is all I have for you today, Austin. Alright, thanks, sir. Have a wonderful day. Bye.